Sup nerds, I'm Tom, and I'm going to talk to you guys real quick about the legendary Marvel Studios, the first 10 years, Phase 1. I think that's, the full title for this version. And this is not an expansion to Marvel Legendary. This is actually kind of sort of a second base set. It's kind of like a reprinting of the first base set, but set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we'll talk about that. In this video, I'm mostly just going to talk about the differences between this version and the regular base set for Marvel Legendary with all the, the drawn, comic book artwork. But if you want to know my thoughts on Marvel Legendary, I love Marvel Legendary. It was the first deck builder I ever played. It's, one that I've played a lot. I haven't played a lot of the newer expansions. Like I don't have X-Men or War Hulk, so I know I'm behind right now. But I still love it. Like I said, this is pretty much just a reprinting of the original base set with a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe screen caps on the cards, and they even have the name of the movie on there where they're from. That doesn't really bother me too much. That's okay. And I guess I like the images because I love the MCU. I've seen all of the movies and everything. But this is just Phase 1, which means not only it doesn't mean that this is the first one of these that they're doing, and they're probably going to do more, but it's only characters from Phase 1. So you only get Hawkeye, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, Thor, and Nick Fury. So even though on the box there's Black Panther and the Guardians of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange, they're not in this box. I mean, they're probably going to be in the Phase 2 and Phase 3 boxes, but you don't get that in here. And when I say it's a reprinting, I really mean it's like a 95% the same thing, or 98% the same thing. There are a couple small differences, obviously not even just within the artwork, like there's a new keyword on the villains, the Conqueror or whatever, where they get plus whatever for if there's a villain in that specific spot. There are some of the advanced bystanders that were in the Dark City expansion that are in here. Other than that, it's mostly the same thing. It's, again, 95%, a few tweaks here and there, and you kind of get a little bit less. You get fewer heroes, fewer masterminds. There's only 3 in here instead of 4 that was in the base set. Otherwise, you do get a playmat, and I do like the playmat because, it's better than the play board kind of took up the whole table. It's small. A lot of people are complaining about the fact that it's smaller, and you have just like these half areas here where you put the decks. But I actually kind of prefer that, so it doesn't take up so much table space unnecessarily. They had that huge KO pile that didn't need to be that big, and this kind of eliminates that. So that's kind of what you get with this. It's, again, just another copy of the base set. So if you already have the base set and you have no interest in playing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe stills, or being able to mix the Homecoming expansion with other cards so they don't look out of place, if you have no interest in that, then this probably isn't that big of a deal to you. But I will say that I do like what they're doing here. I think it's a good idea to release products like this, mostly for getting new people into the hobby. The MCU is a big deal. Everybody loves it. I think this will be more enticing for some people than just the regular comic book art, because not a lot of people, have that emotional bond with the comic books, like I do, but a lot of people have the emotional bond with the movie. So they'll see it and they'll go, oh, okay, I love those movies. And they'll start, getting into better games like deck builders. Also, I do kind of like the sort of collector's aspect to it, the limited print run. It's kind of cool. I'm a bit of a completionist, and I know that this aspect bothers a lot of people, right? Oh, they're only going to do so many and then they do more or something like that. I really do think, the contracts that Marvel puts out are really strict. So I do think that this is a specifically limited print run, at least for Phase 1. Maybe, they'll have a limited print run for Phase 2 or whatever. But, I kind of dig that aspect. So I know there are some people out there who have some issues with the idea that this is just like a 95% reprint of the original base set, but with screen caps instead of drawings. And I get that. I really do understand where they're coming from. Obviously, if that bothers you, then this product isn't for you. And maybe this product really isn't for you. It's mostly for, the newcomers who haven't played a deck building game, haven't played the original Marvel Legendary, aren't going to be drawn in by comic book art, but are going to be drawn in by MCU stills. But what I can tell you is that I'm going to keep it. I actually sleeved this whole copy. I don't know if you could see that. Because I do think that this is something that I'm going to use a lot for new players for a couple of reasons. One, because I do think that a lot of people will like the the MCU screen caps in there, but also because my current base set for Legendary, I have the Broken Token insert in there, so I have a couple of other small box expansions mixed in there. So opening up that bad boy for the first time can be a little bit overwhelming. There's so many different cards to kind of flip through and a lot of like choices. It's better here. We're just like we just got the core Avengers in here. We can fight any of these three masterminds. Like just this is almost like my travel sized version, if that makes sense. So I do really like it for that reason. And if you like it for that reason, or if you for whatever reason, if you feel like this is something you want to add to your collection, I'm going to put a purchase link to this game and probably just a bunch of different Legendary stuff in the description box down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you will never be bored. Finger guns. Sup nerds, I'm Tom, and I'm going to talk about the Marvel Studios... Hang on.